To this week's CCRP update. CCRP Jamaica is a non-profit, non-denominational and non-political membership organization for individuals 40 years old and over. CCRP was founded by Jean Lowrie-Chin as a tribute to her mother and the seniors who guided her company, Procom, following its 30th anniversary. Our mission? To ensure the talent, experience and wisdom of seniors are respected, to ensure that seniors enjoy the quality of life they deserve, to empower seniors to continue contributing to their communities, country and region. This program is proudly brought to you by Juicy Patties, always serving the land we love. From serving seriously good Jamaican food to empowering our communities, Juicy is proud to nourish every Jamaican in every way. In our Mother's Day edition of the CCRP Update, 5 CCRP Board of Directors will pay tribute to their mothers and, by extension, the incalculable value that mothers add to all societies globally every single day. Today we'll hear from Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Dr. Owen James, Mrs. Patricia Reid-Waugh, Mrs. Vilma McDonald, and Mrs. Jean Lowrie-Chin, our founder and executive chairperson of the CCRP. But first, a little family business. We wish all the mothers of Jamaica a happy Mother's Day. We hope you're having the most enjoyable day with your children. Help us to continue advocating for your rights and assisting seniors in need. When you're a CCRP member, you're actively supporting the rights of seniors and the elderly and assisting in our outreach program. If you're 40 or over, you are eligible to join CCRP. For a fee of only 3,000 Jamaican dollars a year, CCRP opens up a world of exciting events. There are excursions, socials, and wellness and lifestyle events. Members also have access to discounts of up to 30% from our over 100 discount partners. CCRP offers 2 health insurance plans underwritten by Sagicor and an international health plan underwritten by Lloyd's of London. There's also the BCIC JNGI Silver Shield plan for motor and property insurance exclusively for CCRP members. For more information or to join online, visit our website, ccrponline.org. On next Sunday's program, we'll mark International Nurses Day, and that will be May 12th. So we'll do it a little after. The interview will be of a retired nurse and CCRP member, Mrs. Doriana Daly. And now to add the Mother's Day flavor, we welcome 5 CCRP board members paying tribute to their own mothers and, by extension, to dedicated mothers who have shaped the arc of history for millennia. We'll hear from Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Dr. Owen James, Mrs. Patricia Reid-Waugh, Mrs. Vilma McDonald, and founder and executive chairperson, Mrs. Jean Lowrie-Chin.
Some of my fondest memories of my mother are the evenings before bedtime, when my sisters and I would curl up together and listen as she read to us from treasured books such as Heidi and the Basket of Flowers. Those stories were never just stories. They were lessons in faith, kindness, courage, and character. I also remember her reciting memory gems and asking us to repeat them, then patiently explaining what they meant. At the time, they seemed simple words and rhymes, but looking back, I now realize they were life lessons quietly taking root. Today, I can say my mother was wise beyond her years. She understood the smallest things that have a big impact. Through bedtime readings, gentle repetition, and everyday moments, she was shaping values that have kept me grounded all these years. She taught us how to live, how to love, and how to remain thankful and grateful. And so I salute my mother, not only for the love she gave, but for the wisdom she planted in the simplest ways. Her life reminds me that some of the greatest legacies are built in ordinary moments, and that a mother's quiet influence can echo through a lifetime. To my mother and to mothers everywhere, thank you for making the small things that shape a lifetime.
My mother always wanted a girl, so she had 3 boys, of which I'm the second. The first is Jimmy, who lives in New York. The last is Kingsley, living in Kingston. Mom taught us all she could about how to be good people, including aspects of Christian charity, sometimes taking us to church 3 times on a Sunday. St. Matthew's Church in Almonstown, morning service, Sunday school evening service. Inevitably, we learn several aspects of scripture, hymns, proverbs, and so on. And she also had other little gems which she taught us. Speak the truth and speak it ever, cost it what it will. He who hides the wrong he does, did the wrong thing still. And one of her better quotes was, "Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul, and the heart of man knoweth none more fragrant." She taught us aspects of housework, how to sew buttons back on our clothes, how to cook, including rice and peas, which to this day we think hers was the best in the world. Taught us how to wash our pajamas, clean the floors, everything. She trained as a pupil teacher and in her later years worked in the civil service, where she made lots of friends. Her alluring smile and very humorous way had a great effect on people. I have a picture of her and myself in our bedroom, so I have a chance to see her every day. We think of her always, especially in October, which was her birthday month. April this year marks some 24 years since she died, but we still think of her dearly. We call her Majasita or Momoski. Other people call her Miss Doll, Aunt Dolly, and so on. Whatever she was called, she was beloved.
This is Patricia Reid-Waugh. I lost my father when I just turned 15. So it was Mommy who had the responsibility of taking me into adulthood. And as the youngest child and the only girl, she was very protective of me. I must say, though, that she did an excellent job of balancing that firm hand with giving me a bit of freedom. But let me tell you about my first date. I used to go to Youth for Christ every Saturday night at Coke Methodist Church and would come home round about the same time. On this particular Saturday, a young man from a church invited me on a date. This is my first date, to see a movie at Carib. So I left the house with my Bible as usual, like I'm going to Youth for Christ, and it was straight to Carib. The movie finished later than normal, than I would normally come home. So when I got off the bus, there was my mother sitting across the road on a wall with her hand on her jaw. I flashed across the road, leaving the guy, and I pretended like I didn't see him. So I walked fast, got to the house, jumped in bed. By the time Mommy came home, I was undercover. So Mommy came into my room. She turned on the light, and then I could see the worry on her face. And then the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, "I thought you were going to Youth for Christ. I didn't know you were going to Youth for the Devil." I wanted to laugh, but of course, I had to hold it in. But that is my mother, right? The dignified and proper Maud Reid. And, I really miss her. I really miss her. Yeah.
This is Vilma McDonald, CCRP Director. My mother, Eva May Urquhart Beecher, was a remarkable woman whose life was shaped by love, skill, and strong values. She was born in 1909 in Sunning Hill, St. Thomas, one of 13 children. As a young woman, she moved to Kingston, where she married and raised her 2 children, my brother Alton and me, in our home on Paladv Street in East Kingston. She was a talented dressmaker, sewing entirely freehand without patterns, a true gift. She created the most beautiful dresses. Her stitching was neat, her designs elegant, and she took great pride in her work. I was, of course, one of the lucky beneficiaries and wore many of her lovingly made creations. While she sewed, she would have me sit at the dining table writing grocery lists weekly with prices and adding them up in my head. Even then, she was teaching discipline, focus, and confidence. She also loved flowers and gardening, and our front yard was filled with colorful rose beds that drew admiration from passers-by. Cooking and baking were among her joys, and we enjoyed Easter buns and Christmas puddings each year. Faith anchored our family life. We worshipped at East Street Baptist Church and attended Sunday school at Ellison Methodist Church. My mother believed in encouragement and perseverance. When I didn't make a netball team and came home in tears, she told me to keep training and doing my best. I did, and the next time I made the team, that moment shaped my future. After my father passed and I later married, my mother migrated to the United States, spending more than 30 years there. We cherished those visits to New York. She eventually returned home to Jamaica for the final years of her life. My mother, Eva, was strong, independent, generous, fun-loving, and deeply caring. Discipline and respect were essential in her home, and kindness guided her actions. I can truly say I am the person I am today because of my mother. She passed away on Mother's Day 26 years ago, and she's still deeply missed. May her soul continue to rest in peace.
My late mother, Maisie Lowrie, was a brave and loving woman of God. I wrote this poem for her, and I dedicate it to all mothers. It's called My Mother's Road. The road to my mother's house is superhighway smooth. No potholes there to jar my shock-absorbing soul. No cul-de-sac to turn me back. The road to my mother's house is stadium lit with love, for carefree walks in darkest night. No stop signs there to break my laughter to a screaming halt. She built that road herself, my mother, made stone out of blood, tarred them with tears, and laid them firm beneath my feet. So, if you see me walking high, firm of step and clear of eye, it is because I need not fear. My mother's road is always there. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers listening.
You've been listening to a suite of Mother's Day tributes from 5 members of the CCRP board. We heard from Dr. Marlene Street Forrest, Dr. Owen James, Mrs. Patricia Reid-Waugh, Mrs. Vilma McDonald, and it was anchored, of course, by our founder and executive chairperson, Mrs. Jean Lowrie-Chin. Continue to enjoy Mother's Day 2026. Please draw closer to our community, no delay. Until next Sunday at 3 for all things CCRP, visit our website, ccrponline.org. Like or follow us on YouTube, CCRP Jamaica. The Caribbean Community of Retired Persons, CCRP, is a non-profit membership organization for persons 40 years old and over, retired or preparing for retirement. This program is proudly brought to you by Juicy Patties, always serving the land we love, from serving seriously good Jamaican food to empowering our communities. Juicy is proud to nourish Jamaica in every way.